This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I are playing a variation of the Mothership role-playing game called Cloud Empress. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is the Star Seedling. It was written by Victor Graur, who is also our warden. Cloud Empress is the creation of Worlds by Watt. Mothership was created by Sean McCoy, and this is episode 5. Our recap will be given by Morgan Llewellyn as his character, Rose the Wizard. So, without any further delays, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Morgan?
Thank you, Thom. Whenever I think that this journey could not get any more peculiar, I am almost immediately proven wrong. We left the burning remains of the thopter that carried those bastards who stabbed me, and found, following the compass, a stone slab covered in torturer script. We set the compass onto the stone, and 2 lights beamed down on us from a great height and from a far distance. We tried to dig around the stone slab, suspecting that the compass was trying to direct us underground, but we soon discovered that the slab was part of a massive complex hidden below the ground. Deciding to move on, we went to investigate the strange lights, and there we discovered a sight that is equal parts breathtaking, beautiful, yet terrifying. Emerging from the ground over 200 feet high was a massive torturer construct, a mind-shatteringly massive cousin of the ones that lurk around the Golden Hills, killing farmers and livestock. I believe that the old word passed down from the old world pertaining to such constructs is a robot. This robot was covered by all sorts of strange plant growth. From what we could tell, based on its resemblance to humankind, it seemed buried up to its waist, making it even more massive than it first appeared. Amethystos and Olo climbed the robot, while the rest of us searched around on the ground. Nearby, where this colossus emerged from the ground, was a series of large torturer doorways, the same kind of doors that lead into all of their scattered underground complexes. These doors were all sealed shut, and no amount of force available to us could open them. We discovered, however, that the robot was emerging out of an open doorway. With this knowledge, we engaged in a lengthy debate about how to proceed, ultimately deciding to use one of the thopter blades as leverage to open up enough of a gap within the robot to get inside. Accomplishing this, we entered the torturer complex below. Once inside, we were accosted by a variety of peculiar smells. The robot had several wounds that leaked a foul-smelling orange substance, likely some kind of fuel. When we went inside the robot, we found a dead torturer inside the robot's heart. The corpse was stuffed full of unknown spores, and had a crest akin to the ones used by cloudlings. Were the torturers the ones to build such wonders? To increase the oddity of this robotic being, Sven discovered that the great eyes of the robot contained chalk. The torturers seemed to be both well-versed in engineering and chalkery. Elsewhere in the complex, Amethystos, Sven, and Sun found a room full of millions of plants, preserved in some kind of vault. This is the likely origin of the strange plant that we got from Tada, and hopefully this vault holds the key to our salvation from the spores that House Stellar so callously infected us with. There is also the remaining mystery of another door, with markings like some kind of triangular face. But the most pressing concern at the moment is that Sven has apparently alerted something inside of the robot.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Morgan. So, indeed, the time seems to slow down as you see this big sack of some organic matter falling towards Sven. Sven, you get hit by this thing as it's falling onto you, and it splashes. And to start this quite actiony, everyone around Sven, please give me a speed check to see if you get blasted by this thing as well.
Sorry, y'all.
Let's say, do we remember who all is by Sven?
That's a very good question. In fact, to not meta or to retcon or anything, I believe all of you were curious when you heard the flute, but just then ascended the ladder, if that makes sense.
I think I was close to him. Is there any way that I could have knocked him out of the way if I saw it coming? Or did I not see it coming?
You cannot knock it out of the way because Ven fell on the ladder, shocked by this thing. And it's already prone. So I believe it's kind of late to get them out of the way.
All right.
Are you throwing yourself on top of him?
Well, I definitely get splashed by whatever it is if I'm there.
I stuck pretty close to the torturer body since we got here. So if he's close enough to the torturer body, then I'll need to roll. But if he's
yeah, I think everybody can roll. And obviously, even if you fail, unless you critically fail, but just a failure doesn't really bring that many bad consequences. It still brings something.
I passed.
I passed.
Awesome.
I have failed, but not critically.
Okay. So everybody except Amatistos and Dolo. Okay. Yeah, you see this thing fall onto Sven, rupture, and it causes a big splash of fluid that rapidly ignites. So those that failed, you may give me a 1d5 of damage that you will take. I let you roll the damage because I think that's a little bit more fair. Sven, give me a body save. And regarding that result, we shall see what will happen.
I actually succeeded. I rolled a 21 and my body's 32.
Very close to critical success.
Sorry, 21, not 22.
Yeah, very close, but not a critical success. Right. Okay. Yeah, you are engulfed into flames and you start to roll on the ground. This is quite painful, so you are going to outright take a wound, like entire 10 points of damage from this thing. And let me take the wound table.
And I assume the armor that I slightly repaired is also totally destroyed.
Well, it's fire.
Most peculiarly, the armor seems to be fine. It's like this thing is targeting only organic matter.
Oh, nice. Oh,
so
it's not like it's not normal fire. It's people fire.
Yeah, I mean, it is science fiction. It's almost like plasma. It's very, very hot. Roll me a 1d10, please.
I got a 2.
A 2. You just got up after you thought this thing was done with you, and there is another burst of flames, and it makes you fall back on your back, and with great pain, it just vanishes up in thin air. You seem to be fine, other than feeling exceptionally weakened and wounded, like 1,000 prickling needles went into your skin.
Oh my God.
So the fire
it's
was
like,
there, but now the fire is gone.
Yeah, yeah.
And
but
for
it,
those of us who got splashed, same thing.
You got very, very tiny bits of it, and it probably prickled your arms, your exposed skin, but then it vanished just as well. To be clear, even with the mystical qualities of this incendiary device, you have tattered skin, like you just got quite severe burns, but it seems to have cauterized almost immediately. So it's not an illusion or a trick of the mind. You got inflicted with something for sure.
What the hell?
Are you okay?
yeah, yes, no, I don't know. I mean, the fire's gone, but my skin still feels strange.
Here, chew
Like,
on this leaf.
okay,
Olo's
I
getting the
I
recursive
love
bow
these
like
leaves.
right away.
Are you
Well,
are you guys okay?
It was some
Yeah,
sort of chemical, and it burned. It still burns, but it's not burning. It
And
didn't light us on fire.
Your clothes
my
seem to be okay.
which is very strange. Um, any thoughts? Anybody with
where
more
did it go?
experience? And what was it? And do we have to be afraid more?
Well, what did you do? What caused this to fall on you?
Well, I was looking around and I bumped my head and fell. So don't bump your head? I don't know. Maybe we don't go up there.
Gordon, is the fluting still going on, or has that stopped with this
very
attack?
good question. Yeah, was just about to come back with that. Very slowly and melodiously, the flute singing is coming back.
Okay, well, it's might be coming back for another attack, so I recommend Sven maybe don't stand near
Yeah.
whatever these cysts are. And does anybody have anything ranged other than the cannon, which might ignite this place?
I have my long rifle.
I've got a blow dart pipe.
I recommend unpacking them post haste.
So we're armed.
Locked and loaded in the middle of alien technology, uh, abandoned, um,
Ready to explode.
ready to explode.
So what are we planning? Like this thing is in the way of where Sven was going. Sounds like we either need to take it out or go back to those other rooms you were looking for.
This was in
I
the arm.
I'm
Was
not
this
sure it's worth the risk, guys. Like I'm burned all over. I know like
Look,
that fire went out, but it's not good.
It may have been some sort of fuel for the machine, toxic to us.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it could have been if the torturers built this thing for war, it could be a weapon that's inside the arm. Ammunition of some sort that's come loose.
well, it did kick off when we stole the crest off the body, so it might also be some sort of defense mechanism against.
People coming inside
Yeah,
to protect
we
the
did. Well, if the guy was piloting it, it may think, oh, the pilot's gone. Defend the space, right?
I'll try
yeah.
putting the crest back.
Sticking it to the dead body.
I think,
It's spots back into the dead torturer's armor. He doesn't react. The flipping still goes, but to you distinctly remember, all of you from the last time, the fact that indeed the fluting seems to have started with your intrusion in the giant, but you almost for certain have heard it and before, and such a reaction was triggered almost because it saw Sven. It wasn't aware of your presence before, but it seems to be a localized self-defense mechanism.
well, I think that we're going to find whatever we need to find in amongst those plants. And there's millions of them, but if we can use the compass to guide our path, but we'll need to leave a trail so that we can find our way back out. I don't know what that other door is,
So yes,
the one with the
that
pumpkin
sounds like
face.
you're suggesting we exit the body and get away from this flute for
I
the
think
time being.
so.
Heck, maybe if you stick the compass on Sven, it'll find us some aloe cream.
So you want to exit the giant, or do you want to stay? And you don't really see the. In fact, um, you don't know exactly what time you spent around here, but um, you can definitely guess it's getting a little bit late with your escapade. You get a little bit tired. Normal stuff, no sedation or anything. You think that you spend some time around here, or of course the effort was quite tasking on you. And there is also something else. So you, as you're spending time in this construct, you see that, in fact, at first you hear something besides the flute. You start to hear some weird chattering, but it's very small and is very, very quiet, to say the least. And looking closely around the pilot or your surroundings, you start to see that tiny screens of the multi-screened console lit up since the last time when you were here. And they are spewing just nonsensical garbage in torture script, essentially.
Do we
How
want to
that
start
got.
pulling stuff apart, shut this thing down?
Don't
Is
know.
are
It's like there's
these the screens in the robot?
In the robot, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
they're lit up like there's little lanterns inside.
yeah.
Who could have lit the lanterns?
I mean, who could have turned this thing's eyes to stare at us? It's waking up, maybe.
Well, the better reason to get out of here as quickly as possible. Find that plant.
And maybe, yeah, taking the crest back from the corpse,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
um, and taking the compass. Um, yes, maybe the compass will tell us which of the plants are the right one.
And we always have a quick way out.
The plant room is safe enough. That would be a place we could rest for a moment, clean up Sven a little bit.
It's quite fascinating. I think that there might be enough plants there to revitalize the entire ecosystem.
I don't know. It's been a long time since these plants were put away. The ecosystem's quite different now. Well,
True,
with
the
all the
air might be
spores.
different.
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious to see it. Let's go then, shall we? then yeah, Ola will just start heading down if you said which door it was.
Mhm.
Then we'll follow right behind. Getting out of
Who is the,
here.
who is the last one of you that exits the uh, giant?
I probably first, almost with me following.
Mm-hmm. Um, I'm not even going to ask for a roll because you are all quite on edge. Amatistos, you are unsure, but you think you heard um, some skittering or some kind of footsteps when you were leaving inside of the giant, but you are not really sure.
You mean skittering like an animal?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
probably. In fact,
imagine.
you are a hunter. You are a hunter. You will know that it could be rats or something, but
I was going to say we live in a world where there's probably rats and mice and things like rats and mice, so
mhm,
skittering
mhm.
is kind of not unexpected.
Yeah.
I'll keep my eyes and ears open for it, but I'm not concerned. Unless a giant spider or something comes skittering out, in which case
Now
I'll
we are
scream
going
like a
to keep
woman.
this. We're going to keep the. We're going to keep the spiders out of this one because I don't want violence against them. Okay. Yeah, you are in the dark, yet illuminated by one of your torches, room of this factory where the giant was contained. And you are indeed, the rest of you that stayed in the giant, see the multiple corridors that lead into different directions. Um, of course, some of them were blocked. Some of them have no inscriptions on them. The only ones that have inscriptions are the one with the weird potted plant and an almost theater-like mask with neutral expression on it.
So just listen to me for a second, guys. Like once we figure out this thing with Tada, we move in right around here and we're gonna make a lot of money by trading these plants. Telling
We
you.
Yeah.
I know
we
people everywhere.
we could propagate these things, and like Amethyst said, it could change the entire ecosystem of the planet.
Is propagate like profit?
Yeah,
Propagate
yeah, yeah.
similar. You have increase. You increase the number of plants that you have, just like profit. You increase the number of stuff that you
Great. And
have.
then we can sell more. Okay.
Right.
We've just rediscovered capitalism. Good for us.
Yay! High
Yay!
five.
Back. We're back, baby. Uh,
Well, except that we're selling it for a chicken or for a
we'll
Yeah,
get there. We'll
food,
get
I'm
there.
telling
We'll
for
get
you.
there.
Yeah.
Hey, don't get down on chickens. You know,
We'll
when
we'll
you're
be back to
hungry,
the we'll be back to the neoliberal grind in no time. All right. Hustle, hustle. Okay. I don't know what possessed me there, but using the compass is this where the compass has been pointing to this whole time?
Yeah, it's definitely one of the many locations that it recommends you to visit.
so
Okay.
if we're touching the compass to the plant that we have, is it telling us which way to go?
Well, you tried this and it's pointing in the directions of the chamber in itself, but probably there is something in that chamber. So, assuming that you probably want to re-enter it, nothing has changed really. But you, for certain, kind of understand from watching this thing twitch around that it has kind of an area where it wants to look into. So you pass multiple plants, and the needle might go in that direction for a very, very brief moment, and then kind of change its mind on its own and move in another part. And while you are all in this room, if anyone else wants to kind of try to find something here, I will take again another mind check, aided with advantage if you have anything known about botany or plants or even natural world.
Yeah.
Good thing I have plant identification.
That is 101 what you could use here.
33 is an extreme.
Is an extreme. Yeah, perfect. So quick reminder from the last time. Sun saw and identified correctly that there are plants that are not in the hereafter. Rose, you can definitely tell you stumble across something that you not just recognize, but it's almost a carbon copy of a plant of mythological origin that is said to spawn entire forests just from a tiny sapling in thousands of years, that is. But it's something that it's a legend. Either this is a very good replica of it or it's real. But you tend to think of the former.
Is it an aspen?
An aspen would be quite good descriptor, yeah.
This I've heard stories about the old world and plants like this. One giant organism, larger than anything else on Earth. A giant tree, but one tree that's multiple trees, a whole forest that's just one tree.
Yeah, we have here something that could remake the face of the world. I'm surprised that nobody's used any of this. I guess nobody found it. They must have lost it.
Oh, well, somebody must have found it. This compass leads here. This plant that we have probably came from here. Means House Stellar has been here in all likelihood. And the question is, why
Can
do they keep playing this sick game of theirs?
can people eat aspen? Because that's what we really need. We need to feed people.
Yeah, I don't think people can eat bark.
I was wondering that as well, Sven. I
Oh, it's
I'm
not a
sure
fruit
that
tree
yeah.
I don't know what it
or a
is.
vegetable
I
tree
only
or what?
know that it's a whole forest and that's one tree. I don't know if that tree bears any fruit. It
No,
didn't, none of the stories mention it feeding people. They just are in awe at its size.
It's equivalent value. So, of course, for people in the lowland wastes, this can mean two things. One, it can mean revitalizing and actually restoring and even creating new forests, even in places where they couldn't grow anymore. So it's more of a spiritual, altruistic view. For other people, this thing is, if it's real, it's priceless, meaning that there is no equivalent. People would,
well, it's,
if the legends are real, people would trade entire cities worth of gold or clothing or food just to have this tiny, tiny little sapling.
it's
Can you
it's
give
an
that to me
endless
in terms
supply
of,
of it's an endless supply of wood to build things with.
And shade for protection and cooling.
Yeah.
And fire and to make fires.
But also, living creatures can live amongst the trees.
Oh, we don't care about them.
A cloud
Y'all,
can you
limit.
can you give me its
If
value in pack squaps, please? How
Oh
many
yes,
pack squaps?
this is easily 352 pex swaps.
That's a lot of pack squaps.
if this is just one of the many things that are in here, I'm not so sure that we should be thinking about selling these things, but rather using these things to make it a better world and
Oh,
selling them.
absolutely. Absolutely. When I was talking about settling here, we want to help everyone, including making sure that our bellies are full. That's all I was saying.
Uh, Fellows,
We need,
I worry we're putting the cart before the pack squab here. I do want to remind you that we are all infected with a deadly virus, and there are a number of issues of even getting these out of here to sell them. Um, Now that we've
Oh,
gotten in, House Stellar is absolutely going to be like this is what they were looking for, almost without a doubt.
for sure.
They're not going to just let us go from here. We know they're those assholes that are around. We're going to have to deal with them before we can take anything safely out. It's I agree we can debate the finer morality of who gets what tree, but we are on a timeline.
I wonder if
Olo, are
that
you?
magic fire burned the spores off me.
Don't know. We'll know
I
in time.
I could be healthy.
Olo,
You don't
if
look
what
healthy.
if
Yeah,
what you are saying, if I'm understanding something you're saying, or perhaps you sparked the thought in me, what if this cachet of plants is really what that those people are looking for?
exactly.
They just happen to have a single plant that they didn't know where it came from,
Right.
and now we found out where it came from.
And that becomes an issue if we show up somehow cured. We're not going to be able to just run. There are people there that can find us. The unfortunate truth is we are going to have to deal with the house in some fashion before we could even, Sven, to your point, trade the tree for food
We could
And to help
lie.
others.
and to help others.
We could lie to them and tell them we found nothing.
If that were the case, then won't they wonder why we don't die in a few days?
Perhaps we tell them we found only a single plant.
Eh, You might be able to get away with that, but if they know that there's a cache here,
They'd
you
want to
better
know
be
where
good
it
at,
came
yeah,
from.
you will need to be good at spinning a lie of how we came across this.
Well, let's see if we can find the particular plant.
It's,
We're probably wandering around this place as we're going, aren't
yeah, I'd like to spend the time just basically making sure we're not running into more of those whatever the heck Sven described as blowing the dart. I didn't get a good look, but I want to make sure we're not gonna just stumble into more.
I'll be with Olo making sure because I don't know anything about botany.
Yeah, same.
Mhm.
I've got my rifle.
I'm Sven's just looking for plants that have leaves like Rose has been giving him.
Are you addicted to leaves now?
Might as well be.
Um, in fact, I like that callback to the medicinal plants. You definitely find um, something that looks quite similar. It seems to be in its infancy. It's much smaller. It's probably like something like this. And it's only one, and it looks like, it looks like a miniature version of what Rose uh, knows about. But it doesn't seem to, I don't know how to say this. Do you have any kind of botany skills or anything? I'm not asking for a check. It's more if you would understand what you're looking at,
Sven knows how to scrounge.
how to
So
scrounge.
like, oh, I need something like this. Oh, here's the something like this.
Yeah. You definitely seen nature in its own majesty, and this seems like nature is being constrained in time. it's almost like this sapling is not let to grow outside of this, inside of this glass bell that it's contained into, if that would make sense. You never seen a
Oh,
plant.
so they've intentionally kept it small.
That's a very
Phone
good,
size.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Without exactly saying it, it's kept like in a record. It's kept like a trophy that can be used as the real thing should it escape the glass bell.
Hey, Rose, is this like those medicinal plants you've been feeding me?
I'll come and take a look at it with my plant
Oh
identification.
yeah,
Is it a medicinal plant?
it is a medicinal plant. You recognize it immediately. It's not a rare plant, and you never seen this real in the real life. I'm going to make you take a stress because you realize that this is a conservation method that you only heard about. It's um, it's almost like no oxygen, no entropy can occur inside the bell. So this thing will last for probably until the heat death of the universe, should it just stay in
This
the
is,
black belt.
yes, this is a medicinal plant, but it's how it's been kept here, preserved like this for all this time. It's, I don't know what to say. I don't know whether to call it a miracle or a curse. This is, it's almost blasphemous to prevent it from growing in this way. It doesn't wither, it doesn't grow, it's just stagnant, still petrified forever. And I mean, if
It
you
also
removed it
has
from
a
the
nice,
bell, it would grow normally, but it wouldn't last forever. But yes, Sven, this is correct. If you saw like plants like this could help with your pain. Um,
But
I
not this one.
it could. I'm a little cautious about removing any of the plants from the bells yet. If your pain becomes too
I
severe,
trust
then
you.
we'll consider it.
No, no,
But
no.
I
I've
have
had
more.
worse.
I've had more in my bag. Here, take another leaf.
Oh, great, thanks.
also all the bells have a very easily detachable bottom, so you can definitely extract them out of the bells should you want to.
But the magic to keep them here will be broken if you open them. So
As far as we know, I wonder what it would be like to put a person in one of these jars.
I'm not volunteering.
we haven't gotten very far in this cache. There might be much bigger things. You could put animals, put people. What if there are torturers in there?
So that's absolutely true, one shot. That's really interesting, but I think Olo has the point of the day. We got to find the flower
Yep.
and save our lives.
And then get our revenge on those who murdered my friend. And
While
never do it
you
again.
while you're discussing this, although you are alone or are you with someone? I want to get a feeling. So as you are all discussing this, and to remind everyone, you are in quite a large space. This space is huge. So you either stay up as a group or try to keep close, or you spread out to try to peruse some randomly some of the null library.
If it's in good condition, Olo's not super concerned about being like it's kind of like when you're on a grid system, it's like I know I can just go over a thing and
Mhm,
see them
mhm.
again. So he doesn't mind leaving. I think Amethistos, were you coming along or were you staying put?
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat, but I don't think that we should get more than 30 feet away from anyone else. I mean, we need
That's
the compass is the thing that's leading us.
tell you what, if you need me, call. I'd rather double check around here. I worry that if this is as valuable as they say, that there are other protectors and uh not to cast aspersions, but we've made enough noise here that I don't know like if it echoes in this place or if it's deadened by these bells or anything, but things might know we're here if we're all bundled up.
Yes, the question to the GM is, how is this all laid out? Are we in hallways that are like on a grid crisscrossed so that they're spread out in all directions? But if Olo goes into corridor A and I go into corridor B, we can still walk parallel to each other. We'll still see each other every time we cross a junction.
That's a good way of
Yeah,
thinking it. Yeah, yeah, we can
yeah.
definitely see each other. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
But if
good.
it starts doing a lot of twisting and turning, then we need to, yeah, keep
Yeah.
close together again.
Um, yeah, no, the space is pretty regular. It's almost geometrically laid out, and you are seeing countless specimens. But I want, although you can tell you are going and suddenly when you are with a big uh, shelf between you and
Hmm.
Amatistos. You hear when people stop speaking suddenly because they are probably like admiring and oh, look at this one and look at this thing. There is a sudden noise like footsteps, and it's quite close. It's coming from behind you, you think.
Uh, I think he's gonna kind of pull back. Is there enough space within the bells to kind of slip into?
Um, yeah, I like that. Yeah, yeah, you can. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So,
he'll draw the saber and yeah, kind of pull back in there.
mhm. Um, how careful are you when you enter the shelf?
Oh, honestly, probably not that careful. He's just trying to get in there.
Okay, okay. Yeah, the footsteps suddenly stop, and you are like preparing with this with your saber, and you have a good sellswords posture. You are a very competent sellsword, but this is an alien environment.
Hmm.
You usually fight in the forest, in the nature, or in on some street or in a major settlement. You are not careful enough, and you push one of the jars, which pushes another one of the jars, which pushes another one of the jars or of the bells. Sorry, because I realized I changed the name. It's a glass container, essentially.
Right.
A domino of uh, glass starts to fall off the shelf, and you can definitely hear the steps trying to get away right now. Um, Everyone, you hear this cacophony of shattering glass, and one of the first one that shatters is a seed, and this seed starts to vibrate when it's let out of the container, and it starts growing rapidly and embedding itself in the flooring, and its roots start to go towards the towards you, Olo. What do you want to do?
I'm chasing after the footsteps at this point. He knows enough to get the hell out of Dodge. Uh, yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you know what? They heard the shouting. They'll figure it out. You guys know what'll happen.
yeah. I'm leaving this up to the rest for now. You hear shouting like, get out, the shelves are falling. um,
I I try immediately to run to Olo's aid. So
okay,
wherever
okay,
I hear him, I'm running in that direction with my
yeah.
rifle.
Rose, Sun, and Sven, you obviously care about your friends, but I'm going to give you a choice. You see that you could essentially stop this just purely mechanical. This is not a trap. This seems to be a mechanical accident, a misfortune. You can try to either stop the shelves from continuing this domino, or you can just go towards your friend's aid.
I wanted to
I
stop the domino
I do too.
Mhm.
because if this domino effect takes out the one plant that we need, that's gonna
We're
be
all gonna die anyway.
yeah.
Yeah. Gotta stop the shelves.
So I have confidence in Olo's abilities.
Okay, okay.
And one shot's helping him. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to split the action into two parts. So to start with the ones that chase the footsteps. Although you probably managed to find Amatistos while you are running around trying to find this thing, and you kind of see the weird outline, like the formation of air of a human silhouette as it's
Hmm.
running around. And you two meet face to face, like you and Amatistos, and you look to your left, nothing. You look to your right, and you see this weird air jumping up and down, moving away from you. And it also seems to have a bubbling object. It's almost like somebody that holds an object.
Hmm. Amethyst, be careful. I don't know what that is. God,
Do I
what do you
have
got?
any do I have any ink or anything as I was going to grab that earlier to throw it on invisible people? Do I have anything I can
Um,
throw in that direction?
yeah, sure, you have. Give me a strength, I guess.
I'm sorry for hitting
To
you in the
see
face with
how,
this stuff.
yeah, to see how far the ink is obviously very light, but I want to see if you manage to push it far enough.
I got an '07 out of what was the
Okay.
thing strength?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
35. So
yeah. Okay.
it's
It
not a critical.
splashes, and you see the silhouette stop. It's drenched in ink, um, and it turns around to you, and it slowly starts to materialize. So you see some deep black eyes with no whites in them, essentially. Um, and you see this individual kind of smear the ink off in a wanting to retain their decency manner. As they are putting some clothing that seems to have been stored in one of the shelves on them, they seem to be naked. And you're looking at a weird um, person that seems to, just as their face got into reality from the invisibility, they put this scarf on it. They have long hair. They look at you and they don't say a word. And they are pretty much in a standoff with you two, like looking at you.
Yeah.
We'll walk
And they
towards
seem to
them
have
then.
this.
Well,
Sorry, go ahead.
just ask. I mean, do you speak whatever our language is called? Do you speak
Mm-hmm.
Lowlandish?
Stay where you are. Yeah. Answer our questions.
Um, the figure nods yes.
Okay. Who, what are you doing here? I mean, I know you could ask the same of us.
It has this weird, almost sadness in its eyes, but it's very, very rapidly changing to its former coldness. Um, it takes a step back, and you see it has a patch on its shoulder. It's a triangle with a rocket on it.
Are you kidding?
And as this is happening, I'm going to the other ones. You managed to stop the impending doom of utter destruction. And from behind you, you hear clapping. And of course, out of the fog of this place arrives a very, very familiar figure, especially to Rose. It's you first see something like a cigarette, and then let's keep this friendly. Back product eating grin, and you hear a very, very familiar ex-French accent. So we meet again, adventurers.
Come for a rematch, you bastard?
I am more than happy to see that you survived my sword, wizard. Well, since you went through all the trouble to actually lead us to this place, you can very much. I'm feeling generous. I'm going to leave you alone should you leave. I don't quite feel my clothing, and it points to this expensive tuxedo, getting more blood on it. You made a real deal out of it the last time.
Yeah, I'm hoping that there won't be a next time this time.
Well, and it produces a saber pointing towards you. En garde.
All right, Saber.
Yeah, obviously, it's not moving fast, and it has this weird, almost like, uh, I mean, hubris is the best description of it. It's almost like taking a long, long, drawn out time and having a monologue. Um, Sun ends when you are obviously with Rose. You didn't got split out.
I pull my saber and I rush this guy.
Okay.
Hold on. I take
Nope.
out the cannon. Um, I think you should put your sword away.
Hmm. They told me, Jacques, never bring a sword to a chalk cannon fight.
That's
But
wise advice.
what would be the fun in that? You see, and it starts wiggling the blade around. We have here a wonderful collection of things that we could very much get a nice profit on, eh?
A minute ago, you were what's this we? A minute ago, you were just like, get out of here. What's this we?
Well, a minute ago, I didn't knew you still have the cannon, but that's
Ah,
another time. Yeah, yeah.
fair enough.
I with my
And
saber.
that,
Like, how about you drop your sword?
oh, no, no, no. No, no need. No need for drop sword.
You can just put it away in your little thing where they go. Just put it away. It's okay. We're all together, right? You just said it. We.
It sheets the sword and
Thank you.
it puffs a little bit of the cigarette, and it's like, well, I must say, you are much more persistent than the last ones.
The last ones. What do you mean?
Well, the last one stopped at the rock, and it's pointing back. You got quite far in your escapade. I almost felt bad that we killed the last ones, because if we knew that they would find this place, we would have killed them here.
So you killed them, not the spores.
Do I have the face of a mushroom? No.
I could give you one. I'll move a little closer with my sword.
um, he is measuring you, Rose, looking you up and down, and is like, well, there is something in these holes that you probably were sent to find, right? And, well, there is somebody else that knows and doesn't really want you to find that something else. It's a job.
Job, who put you up to all this?
Well, a magician like yourself never tells their secrets. A mercenary like me never tells their employer.
Well, it sounds to me like you just told us. Did I misunderstand? A job?
Uh, a job. My accent sometimes gets a
Ah,
little.
a job. Got it.
Yes, so nothing personal. I don't hate you. I actually applaud you. It's quite nice to see some real fighting spirit.
I'm gonna rush him and just stab him. I'm tired of this.
Perfect. Yeah, for sure. Give me a speed check, and he's going to try a counter speed check as well.
No,
He
no need.
rolls.
No
He's
need.
got to pull his sword, right?
Yeah, in my furious anger, I rolled a 99.
Oh, um, he has the sword sheathed, and he will not have time to unsheath the sword. He just looks, and he sees Sun charging him, and he just steps away. Sun, the momentum carries you, and you knock not an entire shelf. You knock another one of these glass jars on the ground, and the thing that starts to grow on the other side is a weird orchid-like plant that gets bigger and bigger, and it starts to emanate this weird scent, like it's almost like alcohol. And Jack looks back at you and is like, oh, no, no, magician, what you have done. Um, you know, they probably could have never sent me because I see that you are able to kill yourselves. Nevertheless, and it starts to applaud. Flame. Now, the surprise. I kept them busy long enough. Only Rose and Sven give me speed checks as you see some kind of grenade-like structures, grenade-like objects start to flow from above in your direction.
74 is a fail.
I succeeded. My speed is 47 and I rolled a 26.
Okay. For a success, you manage to get away while still holding a grip of your cannon. Rose, you managed to dodge, but by dodging, you hit one of the grenades. The grenade shatters and explodes something that you probably recognized. One stress as the entire flora starts to diminish rapidly. Right, we are in a predicament. What do you all want to do as these explosions are happening everywhere? And you see Jacques starting to bolt through the shelves, essentially.
No, I'm not letting him get away.
We hear the explosions, correct?
Oh yeah.
Do we see this person he talked to to trigger the explosions?
You see a weird fella, big, but you can't really get a hold of their face. But I'm going to say that obviously, unless they recruited somebody new, you kind of recognize the gas mask fellow.
I'm going to fire my rifle into the face of the one right in front of me.
Okay, so let's do it like this. The moment when you look through the scope, this thing moves almost suddenly, point blank to you. I want you to give me a speed check, but you will not have advantage here even with your good target because it's too close, essentially.
Okay. 33 out of 55.
Nice.
Can we say that when they get close, I just immediately come up with my dagger and
Oh yeah. Damn, you definitely wounded this individual. The dagger stabs them very close to the heart, probably in the shoulder, and you hear it grunt. It has a somewhat ethereal sound to it. It's almost like this person, you couldn't even place exactly how they would speak, should they speak. And they immediately falter and get pushed back by the knife. For the critical success, they definitely get a wound. Olo, what do you want to do?
If they're staggering back, I'm going to catch them on the back of the neck with a saber, basically. I did not expect them to be so close, so he was thinking about switching, but this is great. So yeah, he just kind of swings. He's going for decapitation.
Perfect. Give me a strength roll.
Oh, a strength roll. Could I argue for speed because the saber is speed? It doesn't matter. Never mind. 81.
Oh. No, but this individual is wounded, so for sure you definitely nearly get them on the neck. You definitely inflict even more damage. And this thing is kind of pissed, if it would express emotion. Um, it's going to try to escape, and you are not sure how, but their bones and like their entire structure seems to jellify, and it's almost like trying to get away from you. It gets away enough for it to turn towards a shelf, and they grab a jar and they just throw it at you, essentially. Um, do you want to dodge or hit the jar coming towards you?
Based on what he's seen, he's gonna try and dodge like forward under it.
Okay, yeah. So speed for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the perils of good thing I've been putting all my points to it. 39 on 39.
39 on 39, perfect. Yeah, you dodge this thing as another jar breaks, and out of this jar comes a peculiar plant that seems to be like anthropomorphic in nature. So it starts to grow until it reaches your size, and it's looking around, confused, and it's going to try to. It's coming towards Amatistos, I'm going to say. What's its intent? It's quite unknown.
Well, then, once I stabbed the person, my intention was then to quickly turn. I figure Olo's got him because he brought the saber. So I'm running back to where the others are
Okay, yeah.
to help them. However, on my way, as I'm running, I'm going to snap a piece of chalk in half and
Mm-hmm.
eat it, and cast my invisibility spell.
Perfect. Give me the heart check, please. Let me keep some notes.
19 out of 30.
Roll,
32.
roll me a d10, please.
D10. Oops. 2.
Okay. Yeah, no, perfect. You almost forgot something about the spell, and you start to see that you are actually sticking out. So you are, instead of camouflaging, you are turning more and more visible, like a neon green or a neon purple. But at the last second, you manage to correct the miscast, and you successfully turn invisible.
Okay.
You are a pair of clothes running around towards Rose, Sun, and Sven.
Well, then I will also drop my clothes as I'm going. Because my
Okay.
intention is to, whatever is there, I'm going to stab it in the back. I have
Mhm.
no qualms about nudity, so I just drop my clothes.
Yeah.
It's clumsy, but I'm
Uh, yeah, the spell, even without the miscast, doesn't target fabric, so you ought to be undressed when using it. Okay, coming back to the others, you start to see Amatist. Not, you don't see Amatistus.
see my
You
knife.
see, you see a knife that is just running across the corridor. It's not coming towards you. You see it on one of the corridors of this warehouse, running across.
Well, I was pursuing the one that we were
Oh, right.
talking to, yeah.
The Jack, okay. And Sun and Sven, sorry.
Yeah, I
What you...
would scramble to my feet and also chase after this guy.
Okay, okay.
I'm going to drop the cannon and throw a plant at the other guy.
Okay. Uh, roll me a d10 to see what you grab.
I rolled a 4.
A 4. Okay. Okay. Um, you and now roll me, please. Strength or speed, whatever is better for you.
Speed is better with 47, but I rolled a 69.
Nice. Usually, uh, this thing, um, you throw it and it breaks, but it breaks um, much farther from the target, and it starts to grow into this weird, um almost bulbous structure that it starts to envelop itself and start steering parts of the wall. So that's good for you. But it will start to rain with some debris in your end, while Flame, the gas mask guy, you see, starts running away. But in fact, I'm going to give him some damage as well for this. Um, yeah, you're going to take a 1d5 damage from the debris.
Oh, man. 2.
Okay, 2 damage. Okay, now, Rose, you follow Jacques, and you see, and you manage to find him quite easily because he didn't show any kind of this invisibility mumbo jumbo. In fact, you are even unsure what kind of skills he has other than talking shit a lot of the time. So you kind of catch up to him, and you find both you and him to stay in a circular room, and there are more specimens and jars. You're not even sure how much you ran after him, but you start to notice that there are some in this room. There are some kind of much more. So it was weird before, but now it's almost like you see some kind of embryons stored in these jars. You see some questionable morally stuff to be stored in uh, in an anti-null anti-entropy environment. But Jacques stops, and I'm definitely going to give you lead on him as he just turns around and is like, "Ah, man, you wizards, you were not that quick and fast."
Well, I'm gonna fucking stab him if he's an
Yeah, stab him and yeah, just give me the flat damage. Like I forgot what the saber was, a one or
2d10.
a two, a
9.
2d10, a 9. Yeah, you just stab him, and the sword pierces him in the shoulder, and he's like, "Ah, god damn it!" And it's going to try to grapple you essentially. Give me a strength check.
I would have much preferred speed. Yeah, I fail.
Let me see if he fails as well.
Save me, son.
He regularly it's a 39. He regularly succeeds. But yeah, now he grabs you as he's extracting the blade out of him. And he um, pushes you. Give me a speed check as well.
46 is a pass.
Is a pass. So you are this close to being thrown in the deep void abyss, but you manage to steady yourself and even jump willingly to the other side, landing safely next to some things that you shouldn't be looking at too much because stress is going to ensue.
Well, I'm focused on this Son of a
on
bitch.
on the son of a bitch. Um, he dusts himself off and is like, he's ruined. As I'm going to say that ones that came to your aid have enough time, more than enough time to arrive. You can track Rose and Jack's movements and you spot them in this room. You see Jacques near you, and you see Rose on the other side, almost like they took a leap of faith and landed safely on the other side of the room.
I'm gonna run after Jacques.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Um, so this is a speed. Um, yeah, give me a speed check, son. I won't have him roll because he's too distracted and battered.
I just passed.
A just pass is what you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, you catch up with this guy, and you can either constrain him, which will not require anything else, or if you attempt, you see a ledge, and you can throw him above the ledge. Throwing him above the ledge would mean a strength check, but just pinning him down is like, oh yeah, I catched up to you.
Yeah, I'll just pin him down. I think that's a
Mm-hmm,
good
mm-hmm.
decision.
Yeah. That doesn't require any more effort. As you are pinning him down, and he is like, I've been defeated once again. Uh, of course, blabbering through a broken teeth and something. It actually aids with the accent. Uh, very well. As this settles, um, other than Sun and Rose, is there anyone else in the room? Okay. Sun, give me another mind check. No, in fact, no, because you're pinning Jack. Rose, give me a mind check aided with your botanical experience as you are relaxing a little bit and looking around.
No.
Okay.
I rolled above
Yeah.
80 twice.
Uh, uh, yeah.
Guess I'm
Lots of
a little too focused on.
on the bastard that tried to kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, and looking around, there's a lot of weird things. They start to become biological. I mean, everything is biological. They start to be more meat and flesh other than vegetation, like in these jars. Um, Coming back to the other ones, Amatistos, give me. Do you have any kind of navigational skills?
Navigation, well, I'm a
Anything?
hunter,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm
Uh,
sneaky and cunning, and
yeah. Um,
And you got to know where you're going when you're a hunter.
I'm invisible and naked,
uh,
and just a knife floating in the air like magic. I rolled a 36 for whatever you wanna.
okay. Um, you meet with this individual with the masked one, and you manage to um, um, prick them again with the blades. They um, they seem to halter and to grab their side, and they stay and look towards you as they're breathing heavily. Um, what do you want to do? Do you want another strike, or do you want to restrain them?
This is the one with the face mask.
Yeah, this is the invisibility individual.
I'm going to try to grab the face mask and rip it off.
Okay. Um,
My next move after that would be to jam my knife right into there.
okay. Give me a mind save as you see the face of one of your parents, probably your mother, staring back at you from this figure.
Uh, okay, I don't pass that one. I am momentarily flabbergasted, but I don't believe for a moment that it's my mom.
The flabbergast is enough for a 1d3 stress, and considering the stress gain, I'm going to relay what's happening
I got 2 stress.
to you. Okay. You are flabbergasted enough, like you want to strike them, and you pause out of surprise, not because you would believe this, because it wouldn't
Right.
make any sense. Um, they essentially grab something from their pocket and they throw it in your face. It seems to be like dust, nothing more specific
Yeah.
or anything, but it makes you avert your gaze.
Right.
And when you return your sight, you are perturbed and you see blood going into a certain direction where you even hear the footsteps as well, because they are trying to bolt even more.
Okay. As soon as I've got my eyes back, then I'll probably pick up my knife,
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
this time I'll try to be a little bit more clever in my pursuit. I'll keep things, you know, where my knife can't be seen flying through the air. I'll keep it over to the side or whatever.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It'll look like my knife is hiding behind the corners. But
Yeah. So
as soon as I
definitely
can
not,
get close enough, yeah.
not just holding it straight. Right. Um,
I'm gonna try to drive this guy towards where I think one shot will be.
Yeah.
You know.
I
mhm.
did,
So you're
I did, as I ran up, I did whisper in Sven's ear that it was me and I was invisible. So he knows I'm
mhm.
here,
Yeah. So, and he knows it's not the weird
one of them.
individual.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't believe in magic
Um,
flying knives.
as all of this is happening, there is a subtle rumble across everywhere, across this room. You are not sure if it extends farther back, uh, but you hear a distinct metal clanking. But this is not. If it's metal clanking, it's something the size of a building.
Does it sound like the robot may be coming animating? Like big, loud metal screeching?
Well, stating it like that, yeah. If you, I love when, yeah, no check needed or anything. Yeah, you're almost certain that probably something is going on back at the giant, at the robo.
Well, surely that thing's on our side, so this can only be good news.
You are also sure about the fact that this thing, should it animate, we are making some theory crafting. It's completely impossible for it to inhabit even this room, this huge warehouse. It's bigger than this warehouse. Essentially, it will tear down the entire thing. But you hear movement and vibrations. Um, Sven, give me a speed check as you are trying to track and follow this thing.
I rolled a 20 and my speed is 47.
Perfect. Yeah, you meet face to face with this individual. You see they are bleeding a little bit, and they see you, and they bring their hand towards you like to stop, but you don't see any kind of weaponry. Should you follow or not, it's completely up to you because it doesn't possess mind control. But it produces something from their backpack, which has a glow, and you see it's one of these glass jars, and it has a weird uh, stellated flower inside of it, and it points to the flower, it points to you, it points to its mouth, and it makes a shush noise, and it puts the flower, it starts to essentially extend their hand toward you.
I'll take the flower quietly.
Okay. To be fair, so this is like a decision, what I'm asking. So do you want to accept the flower peacefully, or do you want to take it from them?
Oh, totally peacefully. Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't try any tricks. So it gives you the
Good.
flower, and immediately, not intentionally, and you are not going to do any checks, it bumps into you. It doesn't try to take the flower back. It runs very fast, and it disappears into one of the corridors as you see Amathisto. I mean, you see Amathisto. You sense Amathisto's mighty presence around you.
I got the flower. He had the flower. I've got the flower. Now we just have to save our friends from these rocket guys, and we're golden.
Excellent.
Do you know where they are?
No, but I'll find them. I've
Yeah,
got
let's go.
about 45 minutes still that I'm invisible.
I hand him like a scarf or something. Say, just hold on to this so I know where you are.
Okay, well, you can see where the knife is, but I'll
Yeah,
hold
well,
it. I'll hold it
you
in
can
my
rip it
knife hand.
off and drop it if things change, but
All of my clothes are back there down that hallway. I'm not sure which hallway anymore. We'll have to find them.
A
it's nice
fortune
out. The
raised.
it's a good time of year. Walking around naked, it's fine. Don't worry.
Oh, I
Let's
don't
find the other
mind. I'm just
boys.
afraid that Rose and Son might freak out.
Well,
They're
whatever.
conservative.
We'll wrap the scarf around your middle. They'll be fine. All right, let's find them.
um, yeah, to
I tuck this flower away somewhere safe.
yeah. So you, in a way, actually, so to make this understood for everyone, you accepted the deal, the unspoken deal, and the person just left. So if let's say if Amatistos would be to ask you about the mysterious invisible figure, would you tell them about? I guess you talked about the fact that they gave you this.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'll totally be open about this. This is what I do. I make judgments on
Mhm.
trades. You know, it was
Yeah,
a good trade.
yeah. And the implications are that they traded the thing for essentially letting them leave. Okay, you regroup probably slowly as the earth keeps shaking to Rose and Sun that have battered Jack that probably is a little bit under the weather. His morale is squashed.
Yeah, it
What
looks like you're.
happened with Olo's guy that they were fighting? Did he bail or
I thought you were fighting the invisible fella.
yeah. What happened with
Yeah,
him?
they pretty much met Amatistos and Sven multiple times. Yeah, you lost track of them, if I remember correctly. Uh,
They definitely
but
threw
as,
something at me, but yeah. No, that's fine.
oh yeah,
Let's
oh yeah, oh
yeah.
yeah. You are still being followed very slowly by vegetative anthropomorphic being that doesn't seem to have any kind of ill intentions, but it follows you not targeted. It follows you because you are the most interesting thing in the room, essentially moving around. I'm going to
Yeah,
say
we'll
that
bring it along.
if you move around, their attention suddenly gets drawn out by something else or something glowing or another plant or something else. They just roam around.
My heart of hearts wants to grab it and bring it along, but I think we have other priorities.
Yeah, you regroup in the room with Jack tied up. He still has a cigarette in his mouth somehow. um, he's tied up. Probably Rose and Son did a number on him. um, you are all together after this altercation.
Hey, I got the flower.
Oh, thank God.
Gas
Is
mask
Jacques still
guy
alive?
gave it to me.
Jacques is still alive. We have
Yeah, he's. I've kind of like got him. Like, yeah, he's right here.
I'm really tempted to just
Look,
cut
we
his
we
we
fucking
needed
throat.
need
we
to know who hired
he told
him. Yeah,
yeah, he said that they killed the last group. So we need to know why.
we need to know who hired you, Jacques. There's about one way you end up alive after this.
Was it Thorn?
Well, this is funny that you mentioned. I was employed by somebody that told me uh, just keep them away, just cause trouble. That's also why you managed to defeat me, of course, because I played nice. As it's standing down, tied up.
I think you didn't know what you were
Sure.
getting yourself into with us.
So this still doesn't
Well,
answer the
at that I
question.
agree, Lord Wing.
So yeah, so somebody told you to interfere with us. Why?
Honestly, don't know. They offered us great pay, um, food, some riches. Uh, they even gave me um, a souvenir, and it nods because it cannot move, tied up in towards his pocket. And if you inspect his pocket, um, he actually has quite nice. Um, it looks like a crest. You aren't sure exactly what it does, but this crest has an eye that is open, and Jacques is like, so you see, you use this eye to practically monitor your target. So when they gave us this, I was like, wow, they make our job as mercenaries so easy.
Ooh, who gave this to you, damn it? Tell us.
Uh, Considering you got him tied up and you are quite many, he's like, okay. Listen, if I tell you, don't kill me, I still got this award-winning smile to shine at people that I'm going to hunt in the future. Well, yes, it was the weird-eyed lady. She essentially told me that it's going to be easy. They don't know what they're getting into. You will know wherever they are. It's going to be very easy. But it wasn't easy, of course. She lied to me, as she probably lied to you.
So why would they bring us all this way to just send these thugs after us?
Maybe we're entertainment.
Keep in mind, Tada probably has no idea about this. This is Thorn keeping Tada occupied, but she controls the end game. She can stop anything he sends, and he's going to waste all of his time focused on something else. Meanwhile, these guys have just been killing every innocent person nearby, apparently, that's gone looking for them.
Yeah, maybe it's time to have a chat with Tada and Thorn, isn't it?
Suddenly coming around the corner is a bunch of my garments all floating in the air. So back on.
I'm
You
Maybe
see,
they were
I'm
you
trying
see the
to.
clothing. You see the clothing of Amatistos floating on a person entering the room.
I
I
see you've
think that
learned their ways.
I think that maybe they're trying. Maybe she's trying to keep us away from Tada.
Keeping us away from whatever Tada wants,
Well,
certainly.
yeah, maybe. I thought their relationship seemed kind of weird.
Well, let's see how weird it gets when we confront them.
Well, we have a problem. He's pointing to that crest with the open eye. I would wager that Thorn, based on what she's said in the past, she can watch us. My guess is she's already seen all of this.
Well, if I take this crest with the open eye
Yeah.
Mhm.
and I think about Thorn, can we spy back?
You also have a crest with a closed eye.
Let's yeah.
Uh,
Olo kind of does the yeah, 1 second because he thinks he may know what that closed eye crest does now.
okay. What do you want to do with the closed out crest?
No, I need Rose to do that first because that depends a lot on
Oh,
how
okay,
he's
okay.
able to use it.
Um, Give me as you're meddling with the open eye. Give me a mind check, please.
Oh my God, I cannot fucking pass a roll. 90.
Mm, in fact, because it's a crest, let me, because I kind of, roll me a 1d10.
9.
Oh man, wow. Okay. You think about Thorn, um, and at first nothing happens, but you suddenly stay there and you are looking at the others. You are looking at Jacques on the floor. And as you are blinking once, it's almost like you are in pitch dark blackness. It's like you don't see anything, and it's like you have been cut out and removed from reality. Sound is muffled, distant, and you see from afar. It's almost like you have an eagle eye view of the entire lowland wastes, and you see dots, exactly 5 dots underneath a certain path, which you definitely recognize as the entrance to the giant. And you try to change this to be to the watcher, and you turn around back to the castle in this eagle-eyed view, and you see a burning eye with hatred in it staring back at you. And you feel that it kind of analyzes your soul, and it burns. Essentially, it's like it's shooting a virtual ray of something through your heart. You will take a wound, an entire wound. And you almost, I will let roleplay take its course and you can explain. I hope it's a good imagery, but essentially you are snapped back. It's like this eye shoots you this glance that burns your soul, and you suddenly start to zoom in this eagle-eye view through the rocks, through the door, back into your head, as you just drop the crest. It doesn't break or anything. It's dropped on the floor. And you drop and probably spasm a little bit and try to
gotta
regain
roll on the wounds table, eh?
Yeah. The rest of you take one stress and make a panic check. Everyone around Rose, not Rose.
How do you do a panic check again?
You roll 1d10, and you want to roll above your stress.
That's correct.
My stress is 10, so I must panic.
Oh,
I failed as well.
Failed.
Okay. Before we, Jason, please keep in mind your result. Rose, what happened with the wound? Sorry.
Okay. I rolled a 9. So the wound temporarily ends your adventure. So I think that with what you've described, I float up into the air a little bit, and then I get slammed onto the ground, and I literally, my body's contorting in all these horrible ways. You can hear my muscles stretching, maybe tearing a little bit as I am constantly contorting, and I can no longer move on my own.
Ooh.
Screaming in pain.
Yeah. Nice description. For after we end today's session, we will have a chat. Right. So yeah, those of you that failed the panic check, tell me the result that you rolled that made you fail the panic check. Essentially,
I rolled a 1.
A 1. Okay. Yeah, Amatistos, you with great clarity are convinced that Thom has betrayed you all, and she even did something bad to Rose. You are focused, nothing bad happens, but you are focused to end it once and for all, one way or the other. So you will have advantage for all checks for 10 minutes in game from this point on.
I'm sorry, say that last part again. I'll have what?
Advantage on all checks for 10 minutes in game.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. This is focused, you are cold and pretty much traumatized by the events that you see, but in a way that makes you want retribution for your friend.
I'm going to also at that point try to do something for Rose. I mean, at least put something under their
Yeah,
head so that
I will definitely let you do that. Just to solve all the panics. So all the panics. Another panic. Four.
Yes, I got a 4.
Sven, this is actually kind of makes sense. You actually, obviously, all of you kind of care about each other. Sven, you're a courier, and people are usually fleeing in your life. So these people have been an actual family, a family surrogate for you. You cannot take this, so you flee. Like, you probably keep your composure, you don't scream or anything, but you don't want to be in the same room where you just saw Rose die, essentially, in the same room. So you just leave and wander around the facility. And another panic.
It'd be me. I rolled a 10.
A 10.
Yeah, because my stress is actually 11.
Whew. Well, probably this was a little bit too much for Sun. You, well, how to even say this? I think I'm going to read the entry. You become hardened, cold, and ruthless. You lose control of your character. We will see how this goes, but essentially, I'm going to say, um, unless somebody attempts to stop, I'm going to turn this a little bit into a red mist from Call of Cthulhu. You see Sun essentially turn icy, stare to Jacques, draw their blade, and lunge at them to murder them. Unless somebody stops them, Jacques is a sure target to be completely butchered.
it's my next was going to be my next move.
Yeah, same.
Okay, so nobody stops Sun as you blindly stab at this guy until there's just a mushy pulp, blood everywhere, viscera. Everyone looks at you understandingly and agreeing subconsciously with your action, but you don't feel any happiness or any kind of fulfillment out of this action. You drop the blade, crimson blood on it. You turn around almost mechanically, and if it would be fair, you kind of want to leave this place and this group of people, whatever, get as far as possible from this. And now, with the remaining people, if I solved all the panics, you have full control.
I can't. I can't move.
So do your head.
Amethystos, yeah, it's you have more hope at healing him than I do. Um,
Oh,
Sven
I don't know
has
anything about
the
it. I'll look for one of the leaves in his pocket. Stick it.
um, who said they did somebody say they had the flower to us? Is that
Ben,
Sven? Yep. Great.
Then has the flower. We can we can get back as far as the village very quickly if you want to go.
or Thorn did this
It
to me.
great. What can she
Yeah.
see? What
Just
did you see?
it was like we were marks on a map. Just dots. Just dots is all. But she was this great burning eye, and
Yes.
I,
Did you
oh God, it
did you
hurts.
say that there was a an abyss near us?
Yeah.
I'm going to take the crest away and throw it in the abyss.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my strength is like this, but I'm going to pick up Rose. Uh, actually, I'm going to pick up Rose. Probably hand it to Olo. Hand her to Olo.
I
Uh,
I've got I need that body. I need Jacques' body. That wasn't the only trick he had. And we're going to need one of the and he's watched Sun. If Sun is just leaving or whatever, he's like, we need someone that can activate that closed eye crest. I'm thinking it might be an anti vision.
Drawing.
Right.
Yeah.
So if we can activate that before you use your door, Amethystos, she'll have no idea where we are because we need to rest like yesterday and for a while.
I'll go. Now Sven's already moving away, or he's already.
Yeah, but he is not in the same situation like Sun. He just got perturbed, but should you follow and you can meet because he doesn't seem to hide. He's open for discussion, but he just could not bear to see Rose in that state.
I want to try to gather the group back together, promising revenge. We're going to get revenge on Thorn. But we need somebody who knows something about crests. I mean, I know a little bit, but Sun?
Obviously not going to rob the player of their agency. Just know that you are practically detached through trauma from all of this, but probably can aid them with an advice or something, but you want nothing to do with this adventure anymore in game. The character is like...
Yeah. Yeah. I
calm down.
Yeah. I'm just ready to go home, to be fair, with all of
We'll
this.
go through a portal, at
Okay.
least to get back to the village. That's 2 hours back.
We can figure out that crest first. I don't want her knowing we're in the village if we're going to hold up there for a bit. Because, I mean, he's looking around and all of us, like, he recognizes shell shock or like that detachment. He's seen it before. We can't go in there with this amount of, I mean, on edgeness. We have to be collected and healed. Sven is still hurt. Rose is mangled. We have to rest.
Yeah.
Just give it to me. I don't want anybody else to get hurt.
We'll
I don't
throw you
think
the
you're in any
crest if you don't
condition,
have it.
though.
Yeah.
Just don't do anything with it.
Well, we want to block her way of seeing us.
Maybe. I hope that's what it does.
If that's what it will do, I'll give it a try because I don't really want to talk to her ever again.
I want to kill her.
Well, I wouldn't mind doing that myself. Then going away.
Yeah, no, definitely give me some mind. Mind is the stat with the crests, and we shall see.
Well, I've been rolling like crap, so let's see if I can.
Hey, you could roll as bad as I did and just get destroyed.
Well, let's see how it goes. I made it 21 under 30.
Perfect. Okay. Give me just a moment to remember because I know what it does, but I want to see exactly black
It
on white.
blinds everyone who is
No. Um, so until I find this explanation, because I can feel the main effect in, you sense you're getting drowsy. You already got tired from all of these happenings. A lot happened. And you hear a soothing uh, voice that doesn't seem to be attached to anything you know or anybody that you know. And you know in your heart that this voice is a pure voice. They don't have any kind of ulterior motives. And they sing a song or a lullaby, and you fall asleep. It's not violent falling, so you definitely feel that you cannot go any further, like carry Rose's body or move your feet. So you make a stop in one of the cavernous structures where you think you would be safe, and you fall into unconscious sleep, restful sleep. And you just wake up after some time. You aren't sure how much passed, but looking, probably trying to determine, I don't know, some morbid things like from the blood that flows through from Rose or something. Not that much time has passed. You are refreshed, so I want all of you except Rose and Sun to roll me. No, sorry, don't roll. Decrease your stress by 2 because this was a restful sleep, quite one of the best you had in the last time, and quite quick, a power nap. And you are not in a different predicament. Rose sits motionless, but in a peaceful, almost like an angel sleeping, but you kind of see that they stop breathing. And Sun, you wake up, you feel much more better, but you are flooded by these memories of what happened, and you are like, this is probably another trick to make everything seems good or better, so you remain, and you don't really buy that. So you mechanically, you leave the crest with the others, you don't steal it, but you leave the crest with them, and they see you start again to leave. And with that small closing scene, this is the end of today's session.
Rose is dead.
I was temporarily debilitated.
For now.
Okay.
Oh, I am dead.
Well, she said you stopped breathing.
Yeah, said you stopped
shit.
breathing.
I missed that part.
Yeah.
Can't do the chest compressions. Oh. Our players included Morgan Llewellyn, Nathan Deckers, Steve Anderson, Julian Arba, and myself, with Victor Graur as the game warden. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastery. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you'd like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe, into the strange and fantastic world of Cloud Empress. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.